Hi, welcome to my home. My name is Lisa, and this is my channel about stitching. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Wednesday, October 28th, I believe. It's a little bit in the afternoon. The day is slipping by. I got all my cleaning done on Monday, so I woke up today thinking I can do whatever I want. And so I have. But the day's ticking away. It's going pretty quick. It seems like if you turn around and blink, basically, a week goes by. And I don't know how that's possible, because while you're at work, it seems like the 8.5 or some days 11-hour shift just takes forever to go. How can that be possible? I just don't get it. But anyway, somehow it happens daily. Anyway, it's been a pretty good couple of days here. Hi, baby girl. Molly just came in. So it's been like 3 weeks since I did a video. I have been stitching and watching Flosstube and getting all excited about some of the new channels I've seen. But to tell you the truth, I have seen about, I don't know, quite a few new channels come up, and it seems like they do 1 or 2 videos and they're at 1,000 subscribers. And to tell you the truth, though I am tickled to death for them, and I am, honestly, I am tickled to death for them, but to tell you the truth, it kind of took the wind out of my sails for doing videos. And I've never been a competitive person. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, so I've been working with myself on that. I am thankful for everybody who comes and watches my videos and hits the subscribe button. It truly blesses my heart. So, and I am so thankful for all the friendships that I have acquired through this channel. And I have just been beating myself up that I am not all the time so satisfied with that. That I feel like it just really took the wind out of my sails. Even though I was so excited for them that they got so many subscribers, I thought, holy cow, they did it in 2 videos, and I'm on what, like 57 or something like that. Anyhow, but I have talked to myself and told myself to stop being a dork and to remember that the whole reason why I did this channel was to just motivate me to do the things that I know bring me joy, instead of just sitting on my phone, not literally because that would break it, but just spending time on my phone, just thumbing through mindlessly. I needed the motivation of it. So, and it has encouraged me so much, because it is a little bit of a, like a pressure type thing to make sure you have something interesting to show on a video, you know. So, anywho, I didn't even mean to talk about all of that. It just kind of fell out. But anyway. But since I've mentioned the other channels so many times, I do want to give them a little shout out, because I don't know, I'm sure everybody that watches me has probably already subscribed to them, as we've already discussed. Molly, I'm a dork. Anyway, she keeps looking at me like I'm an idiot. But the new ones that I have watched have been very exciting. Okay, I'm going to restart this. Okay, so I've decided I'm not going to restart it. I just hit pause until my brain could kick in again. Okay, so one of the channels that I have been watching is Daisy K Primitives, and it's Christy that I have followed on Instagram for the longest time. And so she has a channel, and she's got about 4 or 5 videos out, and if you haven't watched her, you need to check it out. I will link it below if I can figure that out. If not, I will just list her name really well. Anyway, and then just recently, Kim Goldman from Instagram has started a channel. And so hers is the Contented Stitcher, I believe. And so I'll list that below. Then I came across one the other day. Shucks. And I can't remember their channel name. I know it was Jeanette and I believe her daughter Heather. Anyway, they have a couple videos out and I really have enjoyed them. So I will link their channel below also. But so anyway, if you haven't watched them, I hope you jump over there. Hopefully after you watch my video. But if you have to jump over now, I understand. Anyway, it's always fun to add more to our list, because I find that I don't really watch normal TV anymore. So this is pretty much all I watch. So we need more episodes, people. Get stitching. Okay. So over the last 3 weeks, I have finished a few things. Imagine that. So I thought I would share with you a little bit of those. Now the first one, I want to be able to reuse this tray. The first project that I tried to fully finish was my Grateful, Thankful, Blessed by Brenda Gervais, which I have shared that forever because it took me a little while. So anyway, I had gone to the thrift store a couple of times, couldn't find the right size frame. And I even went to Hobby Lobby, excuse me, and I couldn't find anything there either in the frame section. Was toying with having them make me a frame. But then I ran across this tray, and I'm going to have to cough, so just a second. Okay, so I ran across this tray, and I really want to reuse it. So I don't necessarily want to just glue this down. Although I've just been tired of thinking about it and was ready to do that and just thought, you know, whatever. It'll be a nice finish that I can keep even if I can't reuse the tray. But I really feel like it's a waste of a pretty tray. So this is my plan. Now, of course, it's not attached, so it's just kind of, it's not the beautiful finish that I hope to have, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So I found this tray at Hobby Lobby, and I found these picks. And so my plan is to set it on an easel on my stitchy corner and have it there. So, which I don't think it'll be a big deal. I was going to just do the magnet and washer technique like Priscilla and Chelsea always do. And I have their shirt on, so I feel like I could accomplish that. But I can't find my magnets in my move to my new sewing room. So anyway, we'll see. I'm going to look for them a little bit more today. And hopefully I can put the, but I couldn't decide. I mean, if I ever reuse this tray, am I going to, you know, where am I going to put the magnet? Am I going to put it just in the very center and use a huge one and hope that it holds? There's just a lot of unanswered questions on this, but I am closer, which if I don't kick my butt in gear, I'm not going to have any time to enjoy it because I am just chomping at the bit to start decorating for Christmas. So anyhow, oh, and I forgot to show you the other part. So my plan is to have this on an easel, okay? And so then I found this other pumpkin that I thought, you know, went so well with all the other stuff. And so it's just going to be sitting on the table with just a little bit more. I have one more set of picks, I think. And I thought I could just kind of set that on the actual table. And then it'll all group well together. So anyhow, gosh, we're 10 minutes in and I haven't really showed anything. Okay, so that's Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. Then, kind of speaking of Priscilla and Chelsea, this Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, They had a freebie that was called Blessed, and I had stitched it a while back, and I finally finished it. So, and it was funny, I had just a little rusty like tart pan that I had got at the thrift store, and my plan was to I was just going to do it on a little, well, okay, so this is what I came up with. Wasn't that a nice segue? Okay, so my plan was to put it in this cute little rusty tart pan. And so I cut out the circle, and it, you know, it fit nice in there. So then I cut a little bit of batting, and then I laced it all together. And then I put it back in there, and there was just the slightest bit of like a blank space where the edge of the tart, it didn't sink in enough, because by the time I put the batting on it and then the fabric for the stitching, you know, it increased a little bit. So now it stuck out a little bit, but there was still an edge that needed something. So long story short, I wanted to use this little lady dot trim that I found at my L&S. So I went through my other finishing things, and I had this little metal thing that I found. So I plopped it in there, and I thought, okay, so I think this is the route I'm going to go. I haven't glued it in there yet either, mainly because I couldn't find my glue gun, which I have found today. So anyway, my plan is just to hot glue that in. I just took one of those little pins with the round edge at the bottom of it, like a little safety pin with a little round edge. So it holds the little buttons, and then I just put a little ribbon up there. So, but anyway, I love how it turned out. I couldn't decide completely on the trim, so it's just kind of pinned in place. So we'll see. I might actually hot glue that too, or maybe get some A-leans out. But anyway, so that's that finish. All of this stuff is fall, and I'm ready to decorate for Christmas. Okay, and so then the last thing I kind of fully finished or tweaked a little bit, I had done my little drum in the last couple of videos, and I talked about wanting to do the little stitching on the edge. So I finally got brave and just jumped in and did that. And so it's not quite the way that I see a lot of them, and I've really enjoyed them. And I think I have, through this process, figured out how to do that. But anyway, it's just like a big X. And the reason the way I came about it is I just did the one leg of it all the way around, and then I came back the other way and crossed the X. So anyhow, I love how it turned out. And then, but I still felt like it needed something. And I had toyed with making a little acorn. I showed before I had made one. So I made 3. And the way I came up with this is I started with the shape of a strawberry, because that was the only thing I had to go on. I've never made an acorn. So I made the shape of a strawberry out of this dyed velvet that I got at my L&S. And then I gathered it and stuffed it a little bit, and then I pulled the center up. I like knotted my floss, went down through it, and kind of pulled the center up just to kind of make it more like an acorn. Anyway, I just used another one of those little safety pins with the rounded edge, put a couple little leaf buttons, and then I had found these little pins at the thrift store a while back, so I just kind of poked everything in there. But anyway, so I'm super happy with it now. I feel like it needed something, and so I'm happy with it. So that's my finishes. I did have some Stitchy Kindness come in the mail. One of the ladies that watches my videos had asked me questions about my floss drops the little bling that hangs on my rings of floss. And so I had given her some of the info from Amazon, how I came about purchasing what I had. And she sent me something. So she said it was just a little thank you for giving her the info. She made some for her colleagues at a school, I believe she said, where she works. Anyway, so she sent me one and I was so excited. So it's like a little keychain. And so she took one of the little things from Amazon, and she actually used the fabric in there, which I thought was so clever because I had never considered using fabric in there. I was always looking for a paper image to put in there. And so that just kind of opened up ideas for me, so I appreciate it. But anyway, I didn't ask Renee if it was okay, so I'm just gonna say, I won't say her Instagram name or anything, but thank you, Renee. I appreciate it. I am gonna put it on my key now that I've showed it, but I just really appreciate it. And it's funny because my key from my car, you don't have to find it. You just have to have it near your car, because I just have the one that you just push the button to start. And so my husband, though, whenever he wants to use my car, because we can't find the other remote, we just have one right now, and just pray that I don't lose it. But so whenever he wants to use my car for some reason or has to move it, he has to dig through my purse, which drives him crazy. So I feel like if I have this on it, he'll be able to find it a lot easier. And it was so clever. And I don't know if it's a coincidence or if she planned it, but my purse has bees on it. And so this is going to just match. Super cute. So thanks again, Renee. I appreciate it. Okay. So let me get my basket of things I've been working on. So just a second. Okay. So now I have been watching, excuse me, a lot of, which I have in the past anyway, but I have been watching a lot of Fat Quarter Shop, and I watch their Flosstube channel, which is really good, and I also watch their quilting channel on YouTube. So they had started a new quilt along that was called Sewcialites, S-E-W. I thought it was cute. Anyway, so they're on, like, I think tomorrow will be block 6. So they're like 6 weeks in, and it goes, I think, till next June. But it's one block a week. So anyway, so I had toyed with, I wanted to do it, but I have a lot of quilting projects that aren't finished, and I thought, I don't need to start anything new. But then I kept following the tag on Instagram and seeing all the cute blocks people were making. And so I just had to jump in. So the other day, I think it was maybe a couple weeks ago, on a Sunday morning, I was awake at like 4 in the morning. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to go quilt. So I ended up, you can make the blocks either in a 3-inch block, a 6-inch block, or a 9-inch block. And so I decided to do the 6-inch block because they looked difficult enough, and I didn't want it to be a headache doing the 3-inch, even though I see the 3-inch block, and oh my goodness, is it so cute. They're so tiny though. And I found some of these challenging anyway, because I just really haven't been doing any quilting in a long time. So, but anyway, so this was the block 1 that I got finished. And so then I stopped for a couple of weeks. Yeah, or a week and a half. Anyway, I hadn't done any. And so then I really kept feeling like, oh, I am so behind. I can't do it now. And then I thought, no, stop being a whiner. And so I did block number 2 the other day. And I did block 3. Now this one was a little tough. I didn't trim my little half square triangles when I sewed them. And so they were just a little, because it was just a minute amount that I was cutting off. You have to trim, people. You have to trim. So then it was way too big. the section that I was hooking here, like when I tried to hook these 4 blocks to this block, it was too big. So anyway, so I was discouraged. I thought, oh, I'm going to have to cut all that out and, you know, restitch it. But then I decided I was just going to restitch the each little block section. Anyway, I fudged it. Long story short, I just kind of fudged it, and it looked better when it was really nicely pressed. I've kind of been throwing it around. But anyway, so I was able to get that one to work out, which I was glad, because I, as you all know, I don't rip out very well. And so then today, I got up this morning and I did block number 4. So now I just have one more, and I'll be caught up until tomorrow. So anyway, so either I'll probably try to do, or block number 5, I'll probably try to do that either today or maybe when I do number 6. I don't know. But I feel like I'm pretty close to being caught up. So I was excited about that. Let's see. I'm running out of room. So I was getting kind of bummed out because I wasn't excited about any of my current projects, which is hard to believe considering the vast amount of them. Anyway, I just wasn't feeling any of them, and I kept going through, you know, my little basket. It's a huge basket now. It almost doesn't shut nicely, and I just kept going through things, and I didn't feel like doing that part, or I didn't have the thread for this part, or anyway, and I was just kind of bummed out. So quite a few nights I didn't stitch at all. Well, then I got mad at myself for not doing that. And I went in my sewing room, and the other day on my day off, I picked up some charts that I really want to start, and I picked out linen. So, and I'm still using all of the linen that was so generously gifted to me a long time ago. I think of her often as I go through and use some of this lovely linen, but she didn't want me to mention her name, so I won't mention it, but you know who you are. I'm still able to find wonderful pieces to use. So the first one I planned on working on, or starting, I'm sorry, was going to be a blackbird design. And the one I wanted to work on is called American Eagle by Blackbird Design. Every time I see this one, it just literally makes me stop breathing for a second. It's just something about this really affects me. And with all the craziness going on pre-election and all of the different views, and I don't even want to get into anything political, but deep down, I feel like we should be supportive of where we live, and we should be proud to be American. So, as I really am going to be praying for our nation in the next week, before, as even people are voting now, I just pray that that God will be glorified in our vote. And as I do that, my plan is to stitch and to really be in prayer for our nation. So that's going to be on the agenda. So on Monday, I went to Joann's and was just kind of picking my own colors. Even though I love Blackbird's colors, I just always like to pick my own. I don't want mine to look like everyone else's. I don't know. It's just weird. And two, you never know compared to the fabric that you pick. And I have no idea because these were not labeled when I got them. So they're mystery, but they're wonderful. So I know it's, I want to say it's either a 32 or a 36 count that I'll be using. So very excited about that one. I'm hoping to start that one tonight. And then, excuse me, I had also purchased an Abby Rose design Yuletide on Thistle Hill, which is a Christmas pattern. And I haven't been really doing hardly any Christmas stitching at all. And I'm tired of fall completely. They were doing Stitchtober with Lori Holt and Kimberly from the Fat Quarter Shop. And they were trying to, oh, they still are. They're doing a wonderful job on doing fall stitching in Stitchtober. And my plan was to work on it on the weekends. And I want to say it's been kind of a fail on my part. But that's okay. I seldom am able to fulfill all of the things I want to do. But anyway, so I'm using a 32 count that I was gifted. The chart kind of shows it more on a yellowy gold color. So it's just going to be more of a cream for me. But I picked some colors that I thought might work. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do all red houses. We're not sure. I thought I would just start with a border and see where it takes me. And then I still want to start, oh shucks, what's this one called? Sweetheart Hill by Plum Street. And I'm sorry, I don't have anything to drink to try to help me quit coughing and whatnot. But anyway, I just thought this one was super cute. It says, I belong with you at the bottom. So that's going to be another one that I'm going to start. And then hopefully I will be super excited once I get some new starts out of my system. I can jump back and work on some of my other projects that I love too. Just a second. Okay. So when I was working the last 3 weeks on some of my projects, there wasn't a ton accomplished on, I don't think, any of them, but steady and sure. So I worked on Sepia Sampler from Not Forgotten Farm, which I changed the colors on, and I'm kind of doing my own color scheme. So I was able to get the bird in. I think I had already finished this last line last time I talked about it. So I was able to finish the border, the yellow line all the way up, and then I was able to get the flowers on the edge. So a little bit more work on it. I'm off one stitch at the top, so it doesn't matter. It's one stitch. So anyway, I'm excited about that one. I think it's coming along pretty cute. And really, when I look at it, there's not a ton more left to do. It's just like basically a basket and a little house and some leaves and whatnot. So, and that stem and things like that, I think that will actually go pretty fast. So who knows, maybe I'll have a finish there. Okay, so I worked on that one. I also worked a little bit on my Spring Farmhouse by Not Forgotten Farm. Now on this one, what did I work on? Let's see. Oh, I did the black. There's like a little sign at the bottom that says farmhouse. So I worked on that. So it's coming along real good. And it was funny, last time on my video, I rewatched it just to try to remember. It had been 3 weeks trying to remember what I said last time and what I was supposed to be working on and yada, yada, yada. And it was funny when I was talking about this house, I literally had like, I don't know, I think it's like 7 or 8 rows in the bottom of the house. And I was saying, oh, I just have 1 more row to go, which I meant like 1 more row of windows. But it made it sound like I just had 1 more row of stitching to finish the house, which wasn't true. A lot of the things in my last video didn't really make a lot of sense. Like when I was talking about fancy floss and how I knew in the past that you're supposed to complete each X as you go, not try to do a whole row and then come back if you want the variegation the way it's supposed to come out. Anyway, none of it was making sense when I knew what I was trying to say, but the rest of you were probably like, what? I appreciate you for not saying it in the comments, but I'm sure you were probably thinking it. Anyway, okay, then I mentioned A Shepherd Song by Plum Street that I had recently started, that I was doing on 40 count, and I appreciate everybody suggesting what size needle I needed. I still haven't gotten that size needle, so I've just been doing the poke and stab method of it, and really I haven't gotten a lot done. All I did was work on that top border. I feel like I went this way a little bit and I went down a little bit. And that's pretty much all I've been able to work on that one. I feel like with the right needle, I'll probably enjoy the process a little bit more, because I don't like to do the poke and stab where you have to put your hand on the top of the fabric, and then I like the sewing method. I feel like it's so much faster, and I don't feel like my arm gets such a workout. Oh, which I need a workout. I should do the poke and stab method, like really exaggerated, and maybe my arm wouldn't wobble like it does. But anyway, but yeah, very excited. And I love this fabric. This one I actually know, it was Patriot's Brew, and it's so pretty. Love it. So, okay, then I worked a little bit on Bittersweet September by Blackbird Design. And by a little bit, I mean like a little bit. I finished the roof, and then I did these windows, and then there's a little motif at the top of the house. It doesn't really show that well, but I got it finished. So there's a lot of over one in this one that I didn't really pay much attention to, and the whole alphabet's pretty much over one. I don't know what I was thinking there. Okay, and so in my desperate attempt to find things that were exciting to work on, I pulled out Summer at Cherry Hill by Brenda Gervais, which I hadn't worked on this in a long time, and I don't know why. It's beautiful, and I absolutely love it. So I pulled that out one night when I was super tired, and the only thing I was able to work on was this little bee skep up here. And because I couldn't find another color that I wanted to use in this little bee skep, I stopped. You know why? Because if I had to find another color, I was going to have to get off my butt on the couch. So anyway, needless to say, only got one color stitched in there. Terrible. It's funny though, after I stand all day on concrete tiles, and honest to Pete, when I get home, actually getting out of my car, and it's just like a 12-minute drive, but getting out of the car, I look like I'm 90. I've seen 90-year-olds get out better than me. I barely can get out of my car, and I'm trying to carry all my junk in the house. And once I take my shower and sit down, I sit there usually for like 2 or 3 hours just watching TV with Larry, and sometimes stitching, sometimes just looking at my phone. And when I go to get up, oh my heavens, it's terrible. So yeah, when I said I didn't want to have to get up to get another color thread, I mean, I seriously didn't want to get up. Terrible. Okay, so then I was watching somebody. Who was I watching? Maybe Kim at the Contented Stitcher. Oh, and I didn't bring my cover picture of it. Shoot. Anyway, it's called, it's a Lilah Studio, and I think it's Quaker something or other. Quaker Welcome. So shoot. And if I knew exactly where my cover picture was, I'd go get it, but I don't even know, because it wasn't in my project bag. Anyway, it's meant to just have all black stitching, but I kind of changed it up a little bit and added some color. And so I was able to do this motif up here, and then I started this one in the corner, and I just have to, I have a little bit more to finish on it, but I'm loving this one. Super cute. So this will be how big it is. So, and I just kind of picked random colors out of my thread stash. And so anyhow, let's see. Oh, and I had one more start. I forgot about this one. So I was gifted this pattern by Gail, a friend of mine on Instagram, and I believe she watches my channel too. So she sent me this one, and I've seen it. I don't know, it's probably been a year or so that she had sent this, and I loved it, but I just hadn't started it. So I went through my stash of linen, and I found a piece big enough, and so I started it, and I'm so excited about it. So I just was using my own colors, and so I wanted to start with the border, of course. And so I thought, well, okay, I need a green. And so I couldn't find any green that wasn't already in a project. So I grabbed my threads that I have from Noel Sampler. And I've just decided to use the colors in this one from that sampler. So that's kind of what I did so far. Just kind of picking my own colors and so loving it. I think this is a 32 count also, maybe 36. I don't know, one or the other. I know it's a lot easier than 40 count because I didn't find that I had to like watch so closely to make sure I wasn't screwing up. But so I was able to get that all done in an evening. So I was super excited about that. So all right, so that pretty much sums up my stitching aspects of my video and the little bit of quilting that I did. I did find some cute things at the thrift store the other day, so I will just hurry through those because I know I'm already getting up on time here. But I found a couple of glass frogs, which is kind of, it used to be really easy for me to find them at my thrift store, but I haven't been able to find any in a long time. But these were super inexpensive. I think they were just $1 each. So that was a steal. Now this one has a little bit of a blemish on it, and I'm not sure exactly how nice I can get them cleaned up. They're a little bit discolored, but definitely a good deal. So I was excited about that. I did find a cute little pair of scissors that were $2.50. So I thought, well, that would be nice to put into another project bag. I found a little pewter thing that I thought would be cute for finishing, and it was just 25 cents. So, and I mean, I say it's pewter, but I'm sure it probably isn't, but it looks like pewter. Maybe it is. I don't know. Would they sell that for 25 cents? I don't know. I got it. And then they had some really pretty pink dishes. I wish they had had more. They only had 2. But anyway, super pretty bowls. They were each $1. So I'm excited. I do have some of these colored plates and bowls, this color, in my half bath. And I saw somebody decorate on Instagram with them for Christmas. And oh my goodness, was it a beautiful hutch. She just had all that color transfer wear, and then had just done white or cream accents with it, just like, and I thought, oh, little white bottle brush trees by that would be so pretty. So I have a little corner hutch. I'm considering taking everything out of that for Christmas and doing that in there just to kind of switch things up a little bit, because my plan to make a whole lot of new Christmas ornaments did not come to fruition. Imagine that. Something I planned I didn't do. But anyway, so I don't really have any new decorations for my trees this year, and I really wanted to try to do things differently. And it's funny, the main reason that I decorate early, I usually start like in the middle of November, is because usually the very first week of December I have a cookie exchange at my home. And now, just like in the last 2 or 3 days, I've decided I don't think I'm going to do that this year. And I'm not sure why, because the majority of people that I have come to this cookie exchange works at the restaurant where I work. And you know, it's funny how everybody's like, oh yeah, you have to have 6 feet, you know, social distancing. Stay, Marshall. Whoa, stay. Marshall. Hold, please. Okay, sorry about that. My dog, who doesn't see very well, walked in from outside with wet feet and was headed right for my grateful, thankful, blessed that I sat down on the floor thinking this is a bad spot because a dog could walk in and step on that. Anyhow, what was I saying? Something about social distancing. But anyway, we work so closely together. I mean, it's nothing for us to be, you know, inches apart from each other just because of the way we have to work. So, I mean, we always have masks on and things like that, and we're washing things down constantly, but it's not like we are ever really 6 feet away from each other. You know, it's just, it is how it is. And thankfully, everybody has been in very good health and we haven't had an issue. So really, I mean, I don't know why I'm considering not having it this year, but I don't know. I just feel like it's just a good excuse not to have so much pressure on me to get everything decorated and cleaned and ready. But that's really going to be my one kind of get together for the holidays, because now that Mom's gone, it's just going to be Larry and I don't even know that we'll have anyone else here in the home. So I'm thinking to myself, am I going to go through all of that work and have nobody come in? I don't know. What are you guys doing? Are you guys going to have your Christmas gatherings like normal, or I don't know. So we'll see. But I did see a couple cute posts on Instagram. They weren't necessarily decorating yet. They were bringing out some of their like their favorite things that they did last year, and just kind of getting the ball rolling, getting the juices going, and how to decorate. So I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll see if the cookie exchange will happen or not. We'll see. But I think in the grand scheme of things, that decision, if that's the biggest thing I have to deal with, I'm really blessed. So I need to just keep everything in perspective, right? So, but anyway, so hopefully I will have some fun things to share with you next time as far as new starts that I'm hoping to get done. And hopefully I'll have a couple more quilt blocks to share. If you guys are participating in Fat Quarter Shop Sewcialites, I'd be interested in knowing so I can go follow you and see your progress. I haven't even posted anything with my blocks just because I was too lazy to get up and take a pretty picture. So maybe I'll do that today. We'll see. It's already 3 o'clock. I cannot believe this day is going so fast. Anyway, oh my gosh, I'm at 44 minutes. You guys are probably sleeping. I hope everybody has a great week. If you have anything exciting you want to share with me, I am Lisa Abby 9137 on Instagram. So I would love to see what you have, what you're working on. And it's fun to get to know people a little bit more. And I think sometimes it's easier on Instagram to share pictures back and forth. And oh, and I meant to say, Sandy, if you're watching this, I have a new email, and my old email I cannot retrieve anything from anymore. So I did receive your letter, and I enjoyed reading it and seeing what you're up to. And if you want to email me again, I have a new email, and it's lisaabbey1585@gmail.com. So I'll try to remember to post that at the bottom in the description box too. So, but I almost forgot to say that. But thanks, Sandy, for sending me your letter, and I enjoyed getting to know you. I have sent you 2 other messages, but maybe it went to your spam folder. So anyway, have a great week, everybody, and hopefully I'll be back in a week. We'll see. Hopefully I'll stay out of my my depressed funk, and I'll get busy. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you for stopping. Bye-bye.